Welcome to Makeup Tip Tuesday, the Tuesday before Valentine's Day, and we have a brand new bundle that we have launched for this very special season. It is called Be a Rebel this Valentine's Day. It includes your Amped Up Mascara, your pink Biodegradable Glitter in Pink Perfect, and your Rebel lipstick. If you guys have been following us for a while, you know that Rebel is my absolute favorite. I think that it personally replaces a red. Like if you've been rocking red, give Rebel a try because yeah, it's just such a good color. It can be intimidating because it's hot pink. I get it. I totally get it. She is a rebel, but don't be afraid. I'm actually gonna show you how to use it as a glitter primer. We're gonna do a little bit of a bright pink on the inside, and I'm going to teach you and show you how to apply this guy right out of the tube to make your lips look fuller. I'm also gonna use it on my cheeks. So the bundle, Be a Rebel, is now live for $75, that rhymed, I did not mean for that to happen. Live for $75, $103 value, and you get all three. The other cool special that we are releasing as well between now until the end of the month, book a free pamper session here at Sam & Arm. After your pamper session, you have the opportunity to purchase Rebel for $15 while supplies last. So if you've been wanting to come in and book a free pampering session, it has been so amazing to see all the new people coming into Sam & Arm or people who are stopping in on their way through, either from Kamloops, Kelowna, or even Calgary. It's just so, I love it. I love it so much. So book in a free pampering session, have a chance to purchase this for $15. Okay. Let's get into it. We are going to start off. I do already have my base on my eyes and on my face. So I already have my Depop and Prime. I did do a little bit of foundation on my eyeball, my eyelid. And I'm gonna go in now with Salmon. So I'm gonna do with my shadow, because we're gonna do a bright fuchsia on the inner corner, I wanna show you how to make this like really simple and really easy. Of course, our mascara doubles as a gel liner, so I'm gonna show you how to do that. But I'm gonna do the eyeshadow is just like our pamper session. So it's gonna be the wash of shade all over the eye, AKA now Kamloops, okay? Yeah, let's get started. So step one, I already have my Depop and Prime on. I'm going right into Sam & Arm and the all over blending brush. We're gonna pick it up and we're going to start in the center. So this is just gonna be a nice, quick, easy eye, something that you can easily take from day into night. If you've done the free pamper session, you have experienced this particular look. And it's easy, we wanna simplify things. Simplify and yet have fun with makeup at the same time. Don't get a Lulu hair in your eye because that hurts. Okay. So I'm really, when this is mine, you can see she's almost done. I want to give everyone a fair warning. We're onboarding now nationally with PharmaSave. You guys have seen the post. It is very exciting. With that being said, there could be a chance, actually I'm going to forecast that there will be a chance that we will be back ordered in some things. Right now, we have a handful of Sam & Arm left. A new batch is in the process, but even our manufacturers in Manitoba, they are all on a really big spike too with manufacturing, where everyone's wanting to support Canadian. I love this, but it's gonna take about 8 weeks for us to get product. So we are now able to purchase larger quantities, which is very exciting. So bear with us as we go through this massive expansion and able to have MisMacK accessible to communities coast to coast. It's so exciting. So applying Sam & Arm, I like to start right in that inner corner, do my little wiggles, and then blend out. And you can see I'm going back and forth in all different directions, making sure that it's nice and smooth. And I am gonna add a couple layers into here. Notice my placement when I'm starting, right? Remember, I'm starting here or here. I'm not starting up top here, trying to blend it down into that inner corner, and then I'm blending it in. Okay. Nice and soft. Blending it off. Next up, we're gonna go into Kamloops. I'm gonna use that same brush, the all over blending. I'm gonna pick up, I'm gonna start in the center of my lid. Remember, your first touch point is always gonna be your darkest, okay? Remember that. We don't wanna start on the outside, we wanna start on that middle, because then we can lightly press, okay? Now, because I am in my 40s, my skin moves, so I have to go back and forth. So pressing it out, I kind of get to after my pupil and I come the opposite direction, stopping at my last lash. It's a very important natural guide. You don't want to follow that fold. Now, not picking up more product, we're starting in here and blending it into that inner corner in like a swiping motion. I'm not trying to start from the inner corner out. I'm doing little light motions, connecting it into that inner corner. So step one is our lid space, okay? Now you can see when I open, we lose it behind the eyeball. Okay, that Lulu hair is still in my eye. Go away, okay. So now that we have it on, we need to go up over our hood and into our crease. So I'm gonna have the brush up and down. I'm gonna hug it behind my eyeball. You can literally feel your orbital bone. And I'm pressing this back and forth. Now you can see I did not pick up more product, but that's a good to show that your first touch point is always gonna be your darkest. Crazy, I did not pick up more product on this. Swiping back and forth in a windshield washer motion, bringing this up to blend off at our brow bone. Up and out. Your fingers are your erasers, okay? So now when we go normal, we want to see that hug up over, okay? It makes the eye look bigger. And then blending it down. So windshield wiper, not a rainbow blend. Those of you that have taken lessons from me or a Zoom lesson, I talk about this all the time. You don't want to do a rainbow blend. It's really easy because of the natural curvature of our eyes. So a rainbow blend is when the highest point is at the top, the lowest is at the bottom on both sides. That droops the eye. We don't want that. We want to think of a windshield wiper, okay? Highest on the outside comes in. Okay, same with the outside. Remember our guides, okay? Up and away, not following that fold of the skin that goes past the last lash. Looking straight. I'm gonna add a little bit more. I'm gonna kind of dust it off. I'm gonna lightly apply over my hood. Looking straight on. You can see I'm not doing this. We're relaxing. And out, okay? I'm not applying it on my brow bone, okay? I like to leave this bare. Rules are made to be broken. I know we have a lot of MisMacKers that come in and talk to Jess and Katie and be like, I do it differently than what Missy says. That is okay. It is okay as long as you're aware that some of these things are trends, and that's okay. But don't get stuck in them, okay? We want our makeup to look nice and fresh and young, but that's totally okay. If you know the rules and you're breaking them, amazing, okay? So now we're gonna do the same to the other side. So starting in that center, okay, making sure that my product is really into my lashes. And now this side, I do that little connection going out, stopping at that last lash, coming into my inner corner. Okay, really going into that inner corner. I know it feels weird, but it's really important that we don't miss that step. Now, whatever's left over, having the brush up and down, and I'm going back and forth. I'm really pushing this with my pressure in behind my eyeball so it blends into my crease. So there's no disconnect when I look down, okay? I know I've seen a lot of stuff on the internet where artists are saying, just go here with it. I get it, but we need to make sure that this part is set and that when you look down, there's no disconnect, okay? And then lightly make sure that you are relaxed. Don't forget about this little pucker right here. This is why we want to make sure this is matte so we're not pushing texture forward. And out, okay? And then we want to make sure it is the same opaqueness. So grabbing a little bit more, starting a bit lower and then blending up, okay? Making sure that everything is the same. You could add a couple layers. I'm gonna do it nice and soft. Next step to finish the eyeshadow, we're gonna take that same brush, tip, just the tip, into shade, Kamloops. Starting on that lower lash line, we're pressing and pulling down. On the outside, remember, first touch point is always gonna be your darkest. See how that just finishes the eye off? It makes it look bigger, but when you're up close and personal, it doesn't look like you have anything on. This is contouring the eye. Little press and pull down. Okay, now let's get into the fun stuff. Now that this is on, it's very exciting. I actually haven't done this look before, but I'm excited. We're going to take Rebel. Now, Katie reposted a video from a couple years ago of her using Rebel as the base of her glitter primer on her eye. I want to give a forewarning. Rebel is so potent that it will stain. I did my face one year for Halloween as like a crazy alien and forgot to put a barrier on, and I was pink for days, okay? Because our pigment is so potent in here, you definitely need to make sure that you have a barrier. So that's why I'm going to use it just very simple and lightly on the outside of my corner, and then I'm going to press the pink glitter over it. So I'm going to take a lip brush. Love lip brush, okay? I actually have a couple of them. Now I'm going on the side of my lipstick tube, just because I know my lips aren't gonna touch that part. Side of my lipstick tube, filling my lip brush. We're going to lightly give a little bit of zhuzhing onto my inner corner, blending it out, okay? Just a little something, something here, okay? We want it to be tacky, so that's where the glitter is gonna stick. So I am applying, because you can blend this right into the shadow where it won't have that gripping effect. And then kind of blending off that edge. So I'm kind of blending it off where my tear duct would be. That's where I want that color to disappear at. I'm gonna take that same brush, I'm gonna pick up into my Pink Perfect. I'm gonna tap, important, and we're going to press. Like so, just to give a little oosh, okay, an oosh. That's gonna be the technical word of this week's Makeup Tuesday. Okay, next side, I'm gonna flip it over and use the other side of my brush, and I'm going to do the exact same. Starting on that very peak of my inner corner, blending it up. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but our neighbors next door have a handyman in today, so you might be able to hear the background. I apologize. Okay. Okay, making sure that it is the same. And then we're going to go in with the glitter, pick up, tap, and set. Get all the Lulu hairs away. And we're pressing. Now, because this is quite a bit of a statement look, as you can see, we're going to wing the liner out on the opposite side to pull and lift this look. So we're gonna go in with our mascara. We're going to take a liner brush. Now remember, when she is new, I opened this last week, and this is the one that stays here during for these videos. This is mine. It can come out clumpy on the brush. This is perfectly normal. What happens is our mascara expands once air gets into it, okay? I say this because when we first started in 2020 with our mascara, no, 2019 with our mascara, clients or MisMacKers were throwing it out, not getting the education that because it's clean, it's different, it expands, so they thought it went bad and threw it out. Don't do that. The more you use it, it will go back to normal. So what we do is we scrape, do your thing, push it back in, okay? Now, I like having that little bit of an extra when I'm doing my liner. So we're gonna grab, I'm going to tight line. We're gonna grab and load our brush. I'm going to tight line my upper waterline. So I'm gonna apply this as if I'm applying mascara. I'm gonna go into the base of my lash, and I'm going to stamp this into my waterline. So she is one of our top sellers. She rivals the skin oil because sadly, mainstream mascara is the most toxic on the market. You guys all saw the fine that was just announced to a big conglomerate in Canada for an environmental misconduct. I don't know the correct word, but anyways, they were fined $750K for violating this because of the PFAs. The PFAs are the forever chemical that your body can't get rid of, nor can the environment. It's also a self-regulated industry. It's not being said or disclosed onto their ingredients list. So this is why I made MisMacK, okay? It's really important that we use safe mascara, especially for our littles. Okay, I can talk forever about this, but let's get back into here. Okay, so starting on my last lash, I'm gonna lightly lift up, okay? I'm gonna come down, and I'm going to stamp and fill that in. Now you could do a really big wing with this look. I'm gonna try, I'm gonna try to keep this nice and tight. And filling it in. So this is when I like to have more mascara when it comes out kind of thick like that, where I can grab my product to do my gel liner. And I'm gonna lightly, as close as I can, onto the top of my lashes, as close as we can, into the lash line. And use your finger to pull down if you need to change the shape. And then it's just a balancing act of stamping. I find that it needs a good couple coats to give you that really intense, solid gel liner look. You might find it goes patchy. Trust the process, keep filling it in until you get your desired look. Okay, now you see I'm using the tip of the brush to create my, right? That's mascara, guys, isn't that crazy? Okay, we're going to do the other side now. So again, lightly stamping my waterline first. Oh, this is why we do our eyes, our skin after, but we didn't do that because this is gonna be quite the look today. Okay. As if I'm putting mascara on into that inner corner now. I'm gonna take the tip and into here. All right. Picking up, remember, this is how I hold it. I hold it like a chopstick. I'm gonna go over my chest, lightly wing it, coming back in, and then it's a build-up play game. So lightly on the top, as close as you can, and then wiggling back and forth. So I am going to reload this so I can get some more product. So don't pump, remember, don't pump your mascara. You want to go in, do a little twirl, and then pull out, so that way we're not pumping air into it, because that can also shorten the lifespan of your mascara. So this is why we have mascara in the grit kits for moms. So if it is a boy team that is doing the fundraiser, the mom gets the mascara because mom is up early taking the littles or the kids to practice and deserve a treat, or it's for the littles who are starting off with makeup to make sure that they're off to a good start. It is a crazy self-regulated industry, and we are so excited to be partnering with PharmaSave across Canada. Okay, now if you have a bump here, go down. This is a part when you want to take your time to make sure that the shape is the same. I'm going to move on, and we're going to apply mascara. So going in, if it comes out clumpy, we're going to scrape, and we're going to apply. So it's all about that wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Oh, I love it when my mascara is not new. I love it when it's just right here, where I don't have to do a whole lot of layers. It's all about that wiggle. Wiggle, 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 and lift. Okay, now if you do happen to wiggle it so much and you get it onto the top, use a clean Q-tip and twirl it off. All right, a little bit on the bottom. This is a personal preference. Depends on your lash real estate. But you want the rule of thumb more on the top, less on the bottom. Okay. Time for some cheeks. I'm gonna use my Rebel. I'm gonna do 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna use my finger to lightly buff this on the bone. Oh, cute, okay. 1, 2, 3, using my finger, kind of in like a half circle motion. And yes, I do have my blur on first. So because the blur is not like a really intense powder, you can get away with using our moisture locking lipsticks over top. It's not gonna go cakey or weird or anything. Just a little bit more right there. Okay. Now, time for a Rebel lip. This is my favorite. I love Rebel lipstick when you're just wearing a mascara look, so that's a really great one too. How you want to define your lips. I have a really great example of this. And my lips are also really dry because you're out of Gaia Gloss. But you can see how the white of my lip, you can see it and that disconnect between my color. The white of your lip is actually your lip edge. We want to actually fill it in underneath that so it comes up over and hugs, and then it makes your lips look bigger. So how we do this, if you've been with me for a while, or if you've seen other Makeup Tip Tuesdays, you've seen me do this. Okay, so to recap, you're gonna push your teeth out like this, okay? So you can stretch and see that white line. We're gonna use the tip of the lipstick. We're gonna go underneath, okay? And 3/4. So we go normal, see it hugs up underneath. Now we're gonna lightly connect this up. Okay, you can do the same with a lip brush if you prefer. Okay, and now we're going to do the same to the top. So kind of lightly stretching, we're going to eyeball it at the Cupid's bow. Up, over, and then down. Okay. And then same thing, starting on the Cupid's bow. And coming up this way. Okay, and then we're gonna fill it in, like so. Now I will have Rebel Lips tomorrow, and the more you apply this during the day, the more it will stain, and you will not have to reapply. There we have it. We are now being a rebel this Valentine's Day. So go on, head over to our website, grab a bundle. You can split it up, pass it around, keep it for yourself. If you're needing refills for your grit kit, this is a perfect time too. But I really like this look. I think I'm gonna put a lash on today because I think that that would just kind of be like an extra little ooh, but there we have it. I hope that you learned lots of tricks this Makeup Tip Tuesday. I hope that you take advantage of the Be a Rebel this Valentine's Day, and we cannot wait to see MisMacK all across Canada with PharmaSave. So stay tuned, really exciting things. So please be sure to like, subscribe, to share, and let us know if there's any tips or tricks that you are wanting me to cover, and I'm happy to do that. So I hope you have a fabulous week. I hope you have a fabulous Valentine's Day, and we will see you next week.